reviews. B-Movie Mike Reviews. B-Movie Mike Reviews. Hey, this is B-Movie Mike. Happy Halloween, everybody. I'm back with my sixth and final review in my series of classic slasher film reviews. This time I have a true American classic. I'll be reviewing 1981's Halloween 2. Halloween 2 was produced by MOUSTAPHA AKKAD, directed by Rick Rosenthal, written and co-produced by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, with music by John Carpenter. Cinematographer Dean Cundey, who was the director of photography for the original Halloween, returns to be the director of photography for Halloween 2. Halloween 2 stars Donald Pleasance, Jamie Lee Curtis, Charles Cyphers. Nancy Loomis returns for a cameo as the body of her dead character in the first film, Annie Brackett. And veteran stuntman Dick Warlock portrays Michael Myers, aka The Shape. To me, Halloween 2 is the perfect horror movie sequel. This movie starts out right at the end of the first movie and continues on with the same storyline and the same characters. Even though John Carpenter didn't return to direct Halloween 2, he did return along with Deborah Hill as co-producer and co-writers of the movie. This and the fact that Dean Cundey returned as cinematographer, I think really helped Halloween 2 to become a solid film and quite possibly the best horror movie sequel ever made. Just like the first movie, this movie has two storylines going on in parallel. You have the Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode storyline, and of course you have the Dr. Loomis storyline. Laurie Strode is trying to evade and escape Michael Myers, while Dr. Loomis is in pursuit of him so that he can put him down for good. In that respect, this movie is even more like the original, except for the fact that Laurie Strode's parts take place in a hospital because she's recovering from her injuries she sustained earlier in the evening, rather than what she did in the first movie, which was hang out with her friends and babysit her neighbor child. I really like the way this movie was shot. It was shot very similar to the first movie, and it blends in well. Like I said earlier, if you edited them both together, you would have a great 3-hour movie. Returning cinematographer Dean Cundey took what he did in the first film and added to it to accommodate the new locations featured in Halloween 2. The acting in Halloween 2 is really good. Donald Pleasance, Jamie Lee Curtis, Charles Cyphers, they all turn in great performances and really help add to the feel that this all took place on the same night. And the new locations add realism to the events of the first film. Like when she gets hurt and the ambulance comes, where are they going to take her? They're going to take her to the hospital. So therefore, Laurie Strode's going to be at the hospital. And if Michael Myers wants to kill her, he's going to have to go to the hospital to do so. And you know he's going to kill a bunch of people on the way there. Aside from some of the locations in Halloween 2, I've heard people complain about some of the kills and some of the ways Michael kills people and some of the weapons he uses. Some people complain he doesn't use a butcher knife in the whole movie. Well, he does use a butcher knife for the first kill. He steals it from the old lady who's making a sandwich. Then he randomly kills that one girl in her living room. That's the only part that I didn't understand and it didn't seem logical. He had no reason to kill that girl in her living room. No reason that we were given. And that is unlike Michael Myers. But as far as the weapons go, we know where he left the butcher knife he took from the old lady's kitchen. Dr. Loomis and the police found it at the school. In the teacher's desk, it was stabbed into the picture of his sister that was drawn in crayon. And as far as the kills go, I really didn't have a problem with it. The doctor with the needle in the eye and the nurse with the needle in the side of the head, the security guard with the claw hammer in his top of his head, I didn't really have a problem with it. I thought it was pretty good. And as far as the scalpel goes, it made sense to me. He was at a hospital. He was looking for a weapon. Michael Myers is always scavenging for weapons. And of course, what is he going to find at a hospital? A scalpel. And some people have complained that the mask that they used in Halloween 2 was not as good as the mask that they used in the original Halloween. I agree it's not as good, but it's a hell of a lot better than some of the ones they used in later sequels. There's not a lot more I can say about Halloween 2 that hasn't already been said. I believe it to be well directed, well written, well acted, and well executed. It is definitely my favorite horror movie sequel of all time, and it is number 2 on my top horror films of all time, right behind the original Halloween. Well, that ends my review of the movie, but now I would like to move on and review the recent Blu-ray release of Halloween 2. I would have to say that the picture and sound quality on this Blu-ray is amazing. The movie is presented in 1080p high-definition widescreen, 235:1, and the audio is English DTS processed 5:1 surround. There's been a lot of controversy over the fact that they removed MOUSTAPHA AKKAD's executive producer credit at the beginning of the movie and stuck in that Universal and MCA Company Presents instead. I find that to be incredibly disrespectful because if it wasn't for Mr. MOUSTAPHA AKKAD, there wouldn't be a Halloween series to begin with. The Blu-ray does have some special features, and I've heard people complain and say that there's not enough. You have the Terror in the Aisles movie, which is actually really good, and I remember watching it on HBO back in the day, and I enjoyed watching it again. I thought it was a really good movie. It does have some deleted scenes and an alternate ending. The alternate ending it's cool to watch, but I'm glad they stuck with the original. And as far as the deleted scenes go, I thought it was pretty interesting to see what they took out and try to figure out why. For me personally, I would have been interested in a new cut of the film with these things added back in. You know, they could have had 2 cuts of the film on this Blu-ray. They could have had the original theatrical cut and then like a new cut. You know, they don't have to have 5 or 6 different cuts like Blade Runner, but maybe an alternate cut with some other stuff added into it would have been really cool, to me anyway. Overall, I'm just really happy that they finally released this movie on Blu-ray. Out of all the movies that I have reviewed for my classic slasher series, this is the only one that's received the Blu-ray release, and it's a shame. I mean, you got Prom Night, Terror Train, Happy Birthday to Me, Hell Night, and Motel Hell. So that's why I'm just happy to have this, even though it's kind of weak on the special features. Hey, it's here, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. And if you don't have it, I can highly recommend that you go pick it up. And if you haven't seen it yet, what are you waiting for? There's no better day to watch it on than Halloween. Well, that's going to bring this video to a close. I would like to thank everybody that's watched my entire series of classic slasher film reviews. This is the last one. I've had a blast doing it. I really loved going back and revisiting all these classic films. And doing these reviews has greatly enriched my Halloween season experience. Well, happy Halloween, everybody. I'll be back this coming Friday with another review. Thanks for watching.